And guys, here we are back again. No time at all to change the title. And let me get my links out over to the Discord. Give me a moment to do that. And where are we here? So watch it over. I think they can watch it over at the Discord. Let me see if it's going to load. I think. All right, so this will be the first time that I'm not really, not trying to sell the channel with the labeling or anything like that. And I think that it really does maybe show that while we're inside of the actual event, I can do any number of change-ups to the title. So here we are at 15,379. Kind of stunning, right? Since we were making plans at 13,000, that we would find ourselves once again at 15,379, peaking up just right above this channel line that we perfected earlier, much earlier actually. After the little bit of a flag out, really, it's just done this beautiful climb. There are a few little scary moments in there that maybe the trade would pull around and continue the hook. It did not do that. It just literally it flagged out, and here we are moving up again. So, but very tender up here, super tender, and but we have gone live to just kind of keep an eye on it. So let's see if I can make sure that we're live on YouTube right now. So we'll do that. And let me see. Hold on just a moment. I just got kind of nervous around moving things around here because I grabbed the event from the event link, not from a new setup from earlier today. And okay, where are we? Now we're live. I don't think we're private. I wonder if it went private. Hold on just a moment. Let me see. Let me see what happened here. No. Let me go back over here. Go here. Go back into the creator channel and see what in the world happened. Creator Studio. And live streaming. So, nice. So this is different. You know why? We made it private. So let's change that up. And we are going to make it public. There we go, public. And I do believe it should be the same URL. But we'll see. Too bad over there. Yep. Okay. All right, what do we have here? Oh, good. Right. Okay, fine enough. Not a problem. Okay, so that's what it was. The event that was started earlier in the day to showcase the second channel, that's what was put in private. So I just made it public. Let's see if we're now live. We should be now. I hope so. So does it look like, oh, there we go. Okay, so we're live. We'll go ahead and take a picture. And go in there. And you're welcome to the chat. Okay, there we go. That will be there. So let's see if the URL changed from private to the public once I take it over here. It's okay, it's okay. It's all right. There we go. Is it the same one? It is, but now that is the color link. There we go. All right, I'm going to zoom in and we will get a tick by tick on this. And then we are live on YouTube from what I understand. I believe so. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, good enough. All right, and I'll get into the tick by tick. All right. Let's try the 3-minute bar so we can see it while it's rolling over and hooking over. It's a lot different, doesn't it, than when you're looking at the 15-minute bar. So I really don't have a lot to do. There's like plenty of work that's stacking up here. So we'll just keep it tick by tick. I'll keep an eye on the chat. And the Nightbot should be taking over in a little bit here. I'll do my signals call out and get that going. And then I'll do 2 of the signals. There we go. All right, we'll just keep an eye on the tick by tick on this. If I need to go back in and change the description, I will, but this is really just sort of kind of for just keeping the record and don't necessarily need a big to think that they have to come over. All right, there we go. Okay, we're all set. Excellent. The only thing that you don't have are the bot commands. And after we finish up here over the next, let's say we'll do like 15 minutes here on YouTube, and then we'll jump over to Twitch and make sure that we don't lose any of the things that we learned about the OBS. And we'll power up a Twitch. And then we'll do like a half an hour on Twitch, and then follow up with another 15 minutes maybe on Facebook Live, and try and do that jump and skip around, see if that works. It's really just to make sure that the things that we've learned before are sticking. So when the Nightbot comes in, I need to change up some things, I think. The Discord. I'm not too sure that I have the I'm pretty sure I don't have a Discord invite in there. Pretty sure that I don't, but I should. It is, for those of you that like the Discord, I'll go ahead and I will send a copy of the invite link. And we're working on the rules right now. There's no better time to come into a room when the rules are sort of being set out, you know, a little bit of the structure is being set out. So if you'd like to come into the Discord, please do. Some people calling the patterns out. Did you guys want me to locate a pattern in the chart? I can do that if you'd like. It's like pattern crazy. What's going on with the announcements? Okay, markers red. In here, markers red. And then go back to chart check. Okay. Well, what can I tell you about the situation that you didn't hear about from before? You saw where we were able to draw what's called a perfected channel or a perfected line, and that's where you clone the line and you don't form fit, and you move it up or you move it down depending on where the first line came from. And if there are, if there are casual violations, you can sort of kind of handle it. If you're a perfectionist, then there is no channel. But we do a little bit of forgiving in the trade, but not a whole lot. Meaning that if it's not a good channel, it'll end up failing you, or you'll get so stuck on the channel, and then you won't be able to navigate any kind of a position because you're so fixated. No, I'm going to there's going to be a reversal here. It's going to hit resistance, and then it's going to pull back, and then you're not looking at the other elements that are building the trade up. So when the channel is broken or violated, that's, of course, when you really stop and take a look and listen. And in some cases, you can start taking things off the chart so that you eventually end up going back to the ethos, which is price. And some people say it's price and volume. Others say it's price, volume, time of day, leading into the opening of a major market. That you start going through this whole rationale, and it can be simplified. I hear a lot of younger junior traders that oversimplify because it can get pretty confusing, and you can get extremely good at that, where you're just oversimplifying. But in order for you to have conversation, what we tend to do is that we add complexity to the charts so that we can have these conversations about what is happening with price. Because the only thing that we know, and even there have been times when we've been in the trade when the trade is suspended, so even though time is ticking, there's no price. But one thing that we do basically know about the trade is that the trade moves from left to right. That's all that we know. And then sometimes we get clues in the candles that tell us that the trade is stalled, or there's four-way dojis where there's disinterest, indecision, and then the candles sort of start telling you a little bit of the story. And so you can find yourself in a very simple place, but it will be more difficult with that mindset to have robust, interesting conversations, which is one of the things that makes being a trader so fascinating. Are the different ideas and theories and like thesis that people have. That's what makes it interesting. So simplifying it is good on one side of the your rule set or your skill set, and then of course then you've got relationship and sense of community and the things that make kind of life sweet. So just a little bit of chart chat connect wisdom there. And I think what I'll do is I'll toss out the Oh, I gotta send this t-shirt idea to Vivo. Got a t-shirt idea, and we do source them from all the places that we monitor. And so this is a t-shirt idea. Let's see if we like this one. Let's see if I can make this better. I think we'll give this over to Vivo and see if we can do anything with it. And it came from a user in the chat named Motto Bot. I don't know where he got that one. Like matter of fact. Matter of fact. Doesn't have anything. There's nothing built on this channel. He just has playlists. I'll take his name anyway and reach out to him and see if he heard about the t-shirt ideas. Live by the FOMO, die by the FOMO. And we'll try and reach out to him. If you guys have heard of this saying before, then just let me know. And we'll put that in the fishbowl to talk about later. Live by the FOMO, die by the FOMO. So the timer bot has not come in yet. We've been on 17 minutes. I wonder if when we were in private, if we would have received the time to do that night bot. Okay, so it looks like we're about to kind of lift off of the trend line. And let's see if we can get a decent candle. This one here, for example, you see how it's resting on the trend line. It's actually powered these first 3 candles here off of that. So that is a candle that we want to really keep an eye on because it could reverse on us as well. We don't know yet if this is the beginning of the move up, and if it's strong enough to keep all of the activity to the upside. Trading at 15,400 now, 15,400, the trade being up on the session now. On the session, 4.18%. We'll go ahead and open up the tools area of TradingView so that you guys can see the little bit of the order book over here. And we'll squeeze that over to the side. And let's see if we can get into the 5% up on the session. 5% sometimes, depending on what's happening with this trade. A lot of times 5 can give us 8. So the trade's at 15,399. And where all eyes are on this bar right here. And I know that it's a 3-minute. It's a very tight, but we will take a marker and make sure that we do not lose track of that bar. No matter what happens, we keep a good eye on that bar right here. We had talked earlier about the CME first day of the year's bar, which really was not that big of a deal, but that we need to Fibonacci high, low, low, high on that bar and see if we can carry it out for the entire year. We could maybe extend that out for the week, maybe. I'll have to ask a few people and see if that's what we really should do. But we could probably if we wanted to. And if you guys could give a thumbs up if you can hear me just fine. This is over at the YouTube feed. If you could thumbs up if you can hear me just fine. I think my voice is probably going to be a little dull. So thank you, thank you. I see you, and the night bot is working. The time bot should be coming in pretty shortly. The trade's at 15, see what I mean? 15, 368, 18, falling off of that high on that hammer. And we can handle a little bit coming back into the trend line. So let's see what happens. Hi, Ruth Eastman. Hi. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet, Ruth. Maybe. You know, that one bar that you see there can either hold or be the end of the longs. So that's why I powered up. So I don't know. How are you? I'm glad that you stopped by. So we can see now we've done a complete eclipse of that one little dragonfly, long-legged. I'd have to look into the candles as to what it is. I just recognize that as being a candle to look for, being that it was hinged there on the resistance line as support. What time is it? Yeah, I don't think we're really going to know for another 8 minutes. The 30-minute bar will probably give us a clue. I'll widen the chart so that you can see where Ruby did cross long. And let's see maybe if there's going to be some like mid-morning, mid-session, a little bit of profits coming in. I'm not really too sure exactly. Okay, so being that we just came online, just like nickety split like that, you'll notice that there's not a lot of information down below in the description area about all the different places that we exist online. In Chart Chat Connect, you know, we have like a blogger, we have a WordPress. Obviously, I'm on Twitter, and then most recently we've been playing a little bit around with the Discord, and then today we had Shot come in, and we had a few more people come into the Discord, and we're sort of just starting to build it out, build the rule set, have an idea of what would make it so different than any other Bitcoin forum that can be useful, where we're listening and learning, and then it's also on a very limited basis, meaning that we are only going to be open for 3 months, and then we'll close down. We'll clear out the room. We'll get all the glossary together, all the charts together, and then we'll power back up again, and just hope to be like better and better, like a building block attitude towards the Discord. But if you'd like to have the welcome link to the Discord, I am happy to drop it in the box, as they say. Do an invite. I think the invite only lasts for 24 hours, as I haven't asked for anything else. And so here's the invite to the Discord, if you would like to drop in. And I said there's just very few rules that are being formulated. Most of them have to do with, be a decent person and that sort of thing. And I think maybe by limiting it to 3 months, then nothing will get out of control, but we hope that we can jam in a lot of cool stuff in a 3-month session. So that's the Discord link. Anybody that's watching that wants to come in that is not over there yet. Okay. And then What else do I want to say? Yep, so here we go. We're just going to roll over. So this is a false, it may be a false break. We'll give it a little bit of room underneath here, and then that'll be it. And we have 4 more minutes to the top of the hour, I'm sorry, the half hour. Now, if it starts chewing into this move that brought it up, we have some problems. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Let's see what else. Jeez, there's so many new people, new Twitter accounts, new everything. So did talk to Sako, aka Nomad, earlier that, we really do need, outside of the coin scoop, those guys are just so fantastic, but it's going to become an impossible, the development of the alternative coins and the links that are associated and the some of the sites that are coming out of it are it's a mind blow now. There's just so much, and the concern is that you could say, well, it's all, no one cares, but the thing is that there may be that one piece of the decision-making puzzle that we let slip by, and that's not cool. So in a way, we have to look at a lot and sift through as much as we possibly can. So I've been using a couple of sites that I put in earlier that I really love. And the fellow that built these sites, he was the product hunt maker of because I don't know if they did one for 2017, for 2016. And he's come up with some websites that are just, they're just fun to visit. But yet you can kind of grapple with just how much is coming online now. It's just a little crazy. And then they're looking for cool things too, just so that you know. They want to know about the cool things that are out there as well. So everyone is on a land grab for information, analysis, data, how to read the data, who's got the fastest data. Who be Marcy? I recognize you, Trader Glenn. Trader Glenn, are you over at the Discord now? Come on now. It's only good. The session's only 3 months. You can handle 3 months over there, I'm pretty sure. It's not a lifelong commitment. I've learned my lesson. Do not make lifetime commitments with people on the internet. You don't want the Discord invite? You should do it. You really should, because I can't go through 100 charts, in one go on YouTube. I could try. It doesn't matter. You'd be around cool people. You'd be around cool people, right? That's interesting conversation, and come on now. Well, it does, and yeah, it doesn't matter. You're talking to a brethren here. Um, I think that what's going to happen is that there is going to be a bridge of experience and outlook and attitudes that are going to happen in 2018. So, your brand of wisdom or the things that you're learning will, it's all going to migrate. This is not, I've been in this long enough to know that the only unique thing that I ever saw about Bitcoin was that it was the most difficult trade. And of course, we trade and we have traded the NQ exclusively for a good long time, and we have traded exclusively crude for a good long time. And when I started to really take a look at the Bitcoin trade, and one reason why Ruby was built was that I found that it was the most difficult trade that I had ever encountered. And it had elements in it that were very untraditional because there were really no indicators. Carpellis had the Willy bot, and there were some other botted, techniques that were out there, but it was truly the most nutty, crazy, ridiculous, redonk trade that I had ever encountered. So, I mean, you would probably really, you might enjoy it. Not being pushy on you. But what I will do is I will throw the Discord invite in. And you might want to know about Discord because there's a lot of trader forums that are over there as well. I learned about one this evening that focuses. I think that they might be legacy traders, but they share their charts with crypto people. Like that's kind of their outreach. But I was supposed to meet with them tonight, and it didn't happen. But you should give it a try. And even then, I would help you sort out being over at Discord. It's a good thing to know. It's a great tool. Don't discount. Oh my God. Pretty funny. There are rules over there, though. So that's where you have to be careful. I'm going to be putting together a little rule set. Okay, all right, so let's kind of concentrate on here for just a moment, if you guys don't mind. Better get to this. Okay, so let me bring this down and let's take out the toolbar here. All right, let's do a little bit of a Condor's pass so we can see what happened. We knew that that bar right there was going to either support the move up or it would be the beginning of some sort of a reversal of the current trend. Now, this isn't really, I'll have to open up my card vault to see whether or not this looks like, is it super toppy? In fact, I'll do that in just a moment. Like what's really going on here with price? We know that it would be very common for us to do a breakout. That's the end of it. And then it comes back in again, takes another rest and maybe another round. But let's take a look at the chart from a Condor's Pass view. And of course, I'm not going to go any further than the 60-minute because we don't need to. This is the channel that we have been in. And if you can believe it, the first bit of the channel, actually the channel was created from a resistance line. Okay, that resistance line was cloned and brought down here. We are waiting on the retest here. Do you see? So I took it from here to here, but it's not cloned from here to here. It just so happens that the channel did work there. The clone is if the trade refutes this and does not survive above it, and that then the likelihood that the trade rolls around, if the channel is to be, now there's lots of snags in between here, plenty of ledges and snags and support becoming resistance and highs being the end of the, as if it was to roll around at this particular point in the chart, it might get a little snag and a hold up, and then the chart would, price would just continue to march on. So that's the 60-minute. Don't be afraid of these free market equilibrium lines here. I often go through what they mean to me. And then another thing, this is why when more chartists come in and share their charts, it's going to be so cool, because we can see what other people are seeing. You'll notice that I always have these break potential lines. These are important lines to me. When they're put in place and we're at 19, people are like, there's no way, Beauty, that line is ever going to come back down. Okay? And we did not, the 13,129 actually became the 13, the low is 12.5 actually, 12.5, and then the 12.550, yeah. So, that's why you try to have the best chart that you can, and based on your own logic and maybe some discussion with others. But you have to have a good chart in front of you, and it should be your chart, the one that you fully understand, not someone that you've copied and pasted, that you think you understand, but something that you've actually built up and get the premise and the thesis behind it. So here we are right here. You can see it's been a great little ruby long from down here. This is a classic ruby cross. We had some headwinds at what's called the 96. That's this line right there, that green line. We had headwinds at the 243, but man, this thing it just wanted to power through it. So there was no snag there whatsoever on the 60-minute, and the trade started to march up. It kept a fair distance away from the 8, and classically, if the 8 supports the close, then we're good. In some training in the future, you'll hear about the 9, that the 9 is supporting the close, and the trade will march up. So it just so happens to be that the ruby is built on the 841. The premise is the 841, and so that's why we look for the 8 EMA on the 60-minute fixed. We'll zoom in here so you can see what the markings look like when we're further out in the trade, because remember that was built on the 3-minute. And that's what that little bar looks like. So we'll go ahead, we'll take this out. Oh, no, we better not, because we're going to go into the 30-minute. Next is the 30-minute bar. So again, remember, each one of these bars represents 30 minutes in time. So we had a reversal bar here, right here, this one right here, that carried the trade up. The trade crossed, long, ruby long. As I said, went through all those tension points, got the support of the 96, the power through, and then of course it hit our trend line up there. Came back to re-war with the trend line up here. And then of course it was met with resistance, which is what the resistance line should do. And in some ways, you don't really want to have a powering through. It's like the powering through of this 243. There will be a reface of that. In my experience, the trade really has a hard time adjusting if it powers through important lines, and it'll kind of be startled, like, okay, the market did that, but shoot, I need to go back and retest that line because, well, I need to do that for the health of the trade. So it's one of those things that you learn really early on, and it's worth talking about. And you'll notice there's the 243 right here. The trade powers through, right? And it tries to retest. You can see that wick there, but it did not. So it almost acts like a gap, if you've ever heard of a gap in a trade. And of course, gaps will always be filled. It's just a theory. All right, there is what the little hammer looks like on the 30-minute, right? Right there, resting right there on the trend line. And that would have been another sign as well that the trade was over going long, that it was running out of participants wanting to take the trade long. There it is right there. Actually, let me move this out of the way so we can see the whole wick. And then we'll even drill down a little further so you guys can see. And there's that one wick that we wanted to keep an eye on. Remember, there's 3 5-minute bars inside of the 15-minute bar. And now we're getting these very dusty looks. Not a whole lot is happening right now. And you can even see the 3-minute 4-way dojis. Nothing is going on yet. There's that bar there too. So the 3-minute bar had it here, and then we found it over here, right here. So we have to maybe, if we can, maybe we move it over. There we go. that's the bar right there. Okay, let's see if you guys kind of got any of that. Any of that help? Let's see here. And in about 4 minutes, I think what I'll do is I'll shut the stream down, and then I'll be flipping on over to Twitch. Okay, so I think I'll do it. Okay, so that's what I think I'll do. I want to thank you very much, guys, for stopping by, being that we didn't label anything. Just somehow, I guess, you guys find it through the notifier. But this is basically how it works on YouTube, is that if we don't recognize each other, then YouTube has no reason to honor the channel whatsoever at all. So part of the arrangement or the bargain that we have when we come onto YouTube is that you have to like, you have to show that you're here, number one, through the like button. Number two, you have to subscribe to the channel and ask for the notifier. That tells YouTube that we exist, that we're here and we can be found. And that's important because when people are looking for the content, they won't find us because we just don't have, the channel is too tiny for us to be placed in the rankings. And I try and be very creative about these things. I really do, but it's just impossible. We're talking about millions of hours worth of content. And so for me to be all cutesy about the title and timing and all of that, it's just a complete, that part of it is really a waste of time. But we have to make sure that YouTube knows that we're here and present. The other thing is that if you share, and there's plenty of places that you can share the content, learn how to share. You know, I mean, this is not, I've said this in a couple of videos before Christmas, the whole idea that the freemium model works, it really doesn't work. In fact, the freemium model, what it gets us is that other people pay the price for you being able to consume with no cost, meaning you don't have to do a thing at all. And so, and you don't, but you need to start learning how to, and all the tools are there. So being a voyeur doesn't work really. So we'll end things as I'm trying to do now, which is hashtag make money with beauty. Hashtag if you want a relationship with me, put it on the blockchain, and I will be reading my disclaimer to you right now. Here we go. There we go. All right, we'll just cover up all that since you guys might not need it. When you come to the channel, sometimes there'll be no audio. Doesn't mean that we're not live. It just means that the audio is off and it'll be off intermittently. The stream is to serve as an archive of price action during volatile moves. That's why a lot of times this isn't about like all the time. It's about lessons or anything of that nature, okay? It's just to archive the activity so that we can understand and examine exactly what's happening and how the trade is being motivated. Here's the disclaimer. Put everybody to sleep. Please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from any chart shown and its further discussion in other chat rooms or forums may not reflect my opinions at the time. The chart shown and their content is not a solicitation nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. And currently, The channel, the Beauty Bubble channel on YouTube, is under review for monetization approval. I wanted you to be aware of that. And at any moment in time in which there has been a transaction where I have received any kind of an advance or monetary compensation or anything like that, you will be the first community to learn about it and be made part of all of it. So remember, I am here to make money, to do good. That is my journey with all of this. Please don't forget it. There's all the social proof out there in the world. I didn't just come up with that. It's my lifespan, and it's my life's duty to make money, to do good. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to everyone soon.